Hey guys, welcome to my channel, So Ashley. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than usual. I recently visited Nashville, Tennessee, and I tried my best to take you guys with me. So here's pretty much everything that I did for 5 days in Nashville. So the trip started off immediately stressful, and I didn't know what was happening, but Alexi had to go through security twice because we had a razor blade in our carry-on, and if the blade's removable, you can't have it in your carry-on. So luckily, we made it through in time, but I was just sitting there waiting, not knowing where he was. But we made it to the gate with plenty of time because the flight was also delayed, and I just wanted to go to sleep because it was almost midnight already. We also volunteered our bags as tribute, and then I realized that I don't have any tags on my bag that indicate that it's mine except for the tag that they printed, so it was a real gamble. So it's finally time for takeoff, aka time to take a little nap. We arrived in Nashville super early, so we got to see the sunrise from the plane. The airport was interesting. It kind of reminded me of a hotel hallway with the carpet. Alexi's brother picked us up from the airport, and then we headed back to his house, and we drove past sort of the downtown cityscape. And I didn't sleep at all on the plane, so it was time to take a nap. Day 1 in Nashville. The first thing we did was head to the Nashville Farmers Market, which is basically like a big cafeteria filled with local businesses. And then outside is where the classic farmers market is, with a bunch of flowers and fruits and vegetables. We were there on a weekday, so it wasn't very full outside. There was also a huge nursery towards the back, and I wish I could have bought some plants, but obviously, how am I gonna fly that home? In the other outdoor area, there's more local merchants that were selling more clothes and soap, jewelry, and stuff like that. Before we headed out, I grabbed some Vietnamese coffee from Farm City Coffee. It was pretty nice and strong and not too sweet. Next, we walked through Bicentennial State Park, which is right across the street. And it was about 90 degrees outside, so that iced coffee was really saving my life at this point. We walked all the way up those stairs to a viewpoint that's just below City Hall. So that was a pretty cool intro. I love a good viewpoint. Then we headed over to Centennial Park, which is a little bit more popular. And we got to see little baby geese there. So cute. But Centennial Park is where the Parthenon is located, so that's why it's a really popular tourist attraction. And it's just super weird to see this Greek-looking building, and it just looks so out of place. It's really beautiful architecture, but I just can't get over what is it doing there? Next, we headed into the city to check out some staples in Nashville. So first we went to the Gibson store, which was really cool. They had this conveyor of guitars on the ceiling, and it went all the way around the room, and it was mesmerizing. And they have all their electric guitars in the main room, and then they have a separate acoustic room, which was really beautiful. Anyway, I couldn't afford anything there, so we headed downtown just to get a sneak preview of all the bars that play live music. Then we checked out Grimey's in East Nashville, which is a record store with a stage for live bands. And right behind that is Anaconda Vintage. I love a good vintage store. It was really cool to see all the old cowboy boots. Then for dinner we went to Manel's, which is the perfect southern hospitality experience. You sit at a community table and you meet new people, and it's all served family style, so it feels like a family dinner. Day 2 in Nashville. We headed to Forevermore for coffee. And it was really cute and really light inside, and they also have clothing and accessories and stuff. And a cute little photo booth. I got an iced coffee with caramel and cream, and it was so good. But then all of a sudden it started raining, pouring outside. So my plan to go to the zoo kind of went out the window on that one. And it turned into a shopping day. So we went to Third Man Records, which was really cool inside. They have a lot of interactive stuff, so if you can actually play an instrument, you could probably spend a lot of time in there. Alexi was in that listening booth for probably half an hour. And I ended up getting a couple little things for my brothers. Next we hit up Starland Vintage, which was so fun. They had a lot of vintage toys and tapes and magazines, posters, probably something for everyone. And I had to have this little blockbuster button. Next we tried out Garage Sale Vintage, which was a really cool vibe inside and a really cool concept. I didn't realize that there was a bar until we walked in. So we made our rounds around the store before heading to the bar and having a couple drinks. Then we got some bangin' quesadilla at Maíz de la Vida, and they have a partnership with the bar that they're parked outside of, Chopper, so you can sit down with your food and have a drink. And it's a Star Wars tiki bar, so you can get a themed cup to take home if you want. After that, we headed to an arcade bar called Up Down. They had a ton of games, and it's a lot cheaper than the ones in California. And they have a really nice patio upstairs. We played a little bit of skee ball, and then we played some pinball. They also have Mario Kart on a big projector, and you don't have to pay for it, so that was really fun. Day 3 in Nashville. Louisa took us outside of Nashville to an owl sanctuary. And there were about 5 or 6 owls there, and they each had a little plaque with their name on it and how they came to be in the sanctuary. They were all very cute and very peaceful. Then we hiked the trail behind the sanctuary, and it was pretty muddy, so at this point I kind of regretted wearing jeans, but it was so worth it. It was really beautiful. After that, we checked out Radnor Lake and took in that view just in time before it started raining again. I mean, pouring. It was pouring. It was storming. This time we cooked a little lunch at home, some chicken and rice to save some money. Later we went and walked around downtown on Broadway, and this was one of the busiest weekends ever in Nashville because there was a huge country concert, 2 sporting events, other concerts, and a cheer competition. So they were even sending the locals warnings about how many tourists would be in town. So it was very lively and it felt like an actual festival. Day 4, we headed outside of town again, and I forgot to record our stop at Waffle House, but oops. Anyway, we hiked up to Cummins Falls. It's definitely a moderate hike. You have to cross the river at least once, maybe twice, but it's definitely worth it once you get there. Just trust the process. The water was really refreshing after that hike. I will say, I did see a lot of snakes on the hike, but none of them were venomous, so I thought they were cute. After a long day swimming, it was time for a chicken sandwich. So we tried out Waldo's chicken and beer, and it was perfect. It was so good. Then we obviously needed some dessert, so we headed to Tabla Rasa for some soft serve. And you just can't go wrong with the chocolate vanilla swirl. My only complaint is how loud the train was, and it just kept going forever. Then we headed across the street to another record store, Vinyl Tap. It's a record store / bar, and they have live music. Day 5 in Nashville was a pretty chill day. We took a walk around Shelby Park, and it was really green and beautiful because it kept raining on and off. There was dandelion fluff floating around everywhere, so it kind of looked like it was snowing. And we took a peek at the river. And then we headed to another park, and I love a graffiti tunnel, who doesn't? But we were really there for the pedestrian bridge. It was super windy, and it was super high up over the river, and it was honestly really scary, but still fun. After that, we headed to the mall and checked out the Bass Pro Shop, which I've never been to before. The amount of guns that they have on display is actually crazy. And the decor in there is actually also insane. I don't know if anyone remembers Fry's Electronics, but that's what it reminds me of. And then they also had this pink toy gun that I really wanted to buy. But they only had boy names on the sheriff stars. So then we headed to Rainforest Cafe, which I have been to before, and I love it. And we ended up buying this stuffed tree frog and then this amazing snake snap bracelet for Alexi's niece. I was tempted to get one for myself though. Then for our last dinner, we headed to Oku Sushi, and the vibes were very fancy. I got a little cucumber and lemon in my water, and I forgot to record the food, sorry. But this is more important anyway. We got cobbler after dinner from the Tennessee Cobbler Company, which is a cobbler truck. It was delicious. And the sunset was so beautiful, so we took one last night walk in East Nashville. And Alexi took a few pictures. And then we stumbled upon a huge amount of cicadas that had fallen from a tree, and I discovered them because I was like, what is that crunching under my feet? It's not leaves. That was really gross. And that was the end of our time in Nashville. Don't forget to subscribe to see our trip to New York. Thanks for watching.